What is going on, everybody? I'm Rob Westerman III of GBP Daily, and thank you for tuning in to the Rob Westerman Show. It is Thursday, October 10th, and it was on this day 55 years ago that Brett Favre was born. So happy birthday to Brett Favre. Some Packers tidbits coming out of practice yesterday, and the main focus was obviously whether or not Romeo Doubs was at practice. And he was indeed at practice yesterday after skipping out at the end of last week due to some personal reasons, some personal frustrations with the team, specifically to his role within the offense. I still don't understand the whole situation and what exactly went down, why he missed practice. I don't think we'll ever find out what exactly happened. But nonetheless, he is back, and he is back on the practice field, and that's great news. I know we've got a lot of talent in that wide receiver room, and I've been seeing a lot of comments, no room for some divas, no room for drama and whatnot, but we are a better team with Romeo out there compared to not being with him. Glad to see him back out there, and hopefully things go smoothly moving forward. Who knows? Only time will tell how he will gel back into the offense. Hopefully it's a smooth transition off of the one-game suspension. Hopefully everything goes good. What's going on, my man? Let me grab your name real quick. I tried to remember it. Rakeem is in the chat. What's up, Rob? What is your fantasy Super Bowl matchup? Packers versus what team? Whatever team we have the best chance of beating. Clearly heading away as far as what I would choose. A fun one. It'd be fun to beat the Chiefs, right? I don't know about you guys, but I dislike the Chiefs mainly because of how good they've been and how much they've been winning. The Jets would obviously be fun with Aaron over there. I think the Ravens would be a fun matchup. I think we could get it done against them too. But give me the Jets. Those storylines for those 2 weeks leading up to the Super Bowl would be pretty wild. So give me Packers Jets Super Bowl. Thank you, Rakeem, for hopping in the chat. I appreciate you, my brother. Omer in the YouTube chat. Good morning, Rob. Rocking Packers Nation once again. Romeo back at practice. Watson, Alexander back. Things looking bright for Sunday. Hit that like and subscribe button. Appreciate you, Omer. Yes, Romeo is back. He is back, but he was not available to the media after practice, which do with that what you will. So, Rashard over on Facebook, top of the morning, Packer Rights. Good morning, Rashard. Thanks for hopping in. As always, if you want to be a part of the show and ask some questions on air, give me a call on the Nicolet Law hotline. The number is on the screen. I will gladly take your call and chat some Packers. Give me a call, 319-242-2332. Blake in the chat. Love seeing Evan Williams get more playing time this week. He reminds me of Micah Hyde. What's going on, Blake? Yes, a major shift last week at the safety position with Evan Williams playing every single defensive snap at safety. He only played a handful of snaps through the first 4 weeks of the season. So good to see him out there and playing well. With Evan Williams, with the Evan Williams move, Javon Bullard is now in the slot. Meanwhile, Keyshawn Nixon was playing outside opposite of Stokes and Valentine. Those two were splitting time. Along with Evan Williams, I do think we'll see some more Edgerrin Cooper. Hopefully a little bit of uptick in his snap count. Seems like every time he's out there, he's making a play. So hopefully we can see him out there a little more as well. In similar fashion to Evan Williams, just throw him out there and let him play a whole game and see what happens. So we got the Cardinals coming to town this week on Sunday, noon game at Lambeau Field. And yeah, Kyler Murray, James Conner, Marvin Harrison Jr., they've got some studs over there. So we're going to need all hands on deck. Donnie, X going for 6 straight interceptions. Great pickup in the offseason. I don't think there has been a single show this year where I have not talked about Xavier McKinney because, yes, he has been just an absolute stud for us so far. Shout out to Brian Gutekunst for spending the money, bringing him in, and yeah, we've got a good safety room finally. It's been since the Charles Woodson, Nick Collins era that we've had decent safety play, and we finally got it, and it's a lot better than decent. It's great. So Donnie, thank you for hopping in on the Instagram chat. I appreciate you. What else we got? Rashard Wilson is a great backup and possibly more carries as the year goes on. Yeah, I love watching Emmanuel Wilson play. He's straight to the point, north and south. He's not messing around. He protects the football. So he's a perfect complement to Josh Jacobs, kind of spell him a little bit so we can keep him healthy for the entire year. So shout out to Emmanuel Wilson. Last preseason, he led the NFL in rushings, and I think he also did that same thing this most previous preseason. So shout out to Emmanuel Wilson, putting in the work and getting the carries he deserves in an actual game, and it's been happening all season. So I'm looking forward to seeing some more of Emmanuel Wilson. Nick, who has been the most impressive rookie in your opinion? I think it's been Javon Bullard, but I'm still very high on Cooper. Yeah, absolutely. Javon Bullard has been obviously getting the most playing time among those guys on the defensive side compared to Evan Williams and then Edgerrin Cooper as well. All three of those guys have been playing very well. Evan Williams has had some game-ending plays, whether it was the Hail Mary pick a couple weeks back. He recovered the onside kick. And then last weekend, he was on the defensive end or on the defensive side of covering that 4th down call from the Rams. So, yeah, Evan Williams, he's just a gamer. So I'm glad to see him getting a lot of playing time. In case of last week, every single defensive snap, which you love to see. I'll go with Javon Bullard, though. Steps right in, gets the starting spot immediately, and has been playing very well. A lot of backfield tackles. He's fast and hasn't made any mistakes, it seems like, at least big ones. So I'll go with Javon Bullard with Edgerrin Cooper and Evan Williams right behind him. We'll see what Edgerrin can do with some more playing time. Donnie, Christian Watson, what's his status this week? And I've got another chat as well, similar to yours, from Armin. Christian Watson update. Christian was practicing yesterday, which is great to see. So everybody knows the offense is night and day different with him out there on the field, whether it's his blocking, which he's really good at, whether it's the deep shot or the jet sweep plays that he's good at. We'd much rather have him be out there than on the sidelines. That goes without saying. So hopefully he can continue to practice this week and be ready to go this weekend with the Cardinals coming to town Sunday at noon. So he was a limited participant yesterday, but a good step forward. Hopefully today and tomorrow he can hopefully get to a full participant and then Sunday be activated for game day. Thank you, Donnie, and thank you, Armin, for the Christian Watson questions. Omer over on YouTube. Thank you, Omer, for hopping in on YouTube. I really appreciate you. We see why Goot was willing to give up draft capital to move up to get Evan Williams. Goot always balling late in the draft, solved the 3rd round curse with Tucker Kraft, I might add. He is an absolute beast. Now, if only he could solve his 1st round curse. Omer, we got Jordan Love in the 1st round. Come on, Al. Are you showing your true colors about your Jordan Love fandom or opinion, I should say? I kid. Yeah, the 1st rounders have not been the best. Most recently, Lucas Van Ness. He has had a subpar start to the year. Not too terrible, not too great. I think he's up to just 1 sack, which through 6 games, you probably would like to see, a couple more. But yeah, hopefully Lucas can get rolling as the season goes on. That pass rushing group as a whole needs to get rolling. Absolutely. Omer adds Savage, Stokes, LVN, Gary, to name a few. Omer is in the chat, mic dropping. I absolutely love it. Yeah, especially with Rashawn Gary's start to the year. Unfortunately, he does have to be added to that group of names that you just said. Like Lucas, hopefully he can start to play a little bit better because he's been the storyline so far this season. And last week I said, he's going to get back on track against the Rams. He did not at all. Didn't get a pressure. Didn't get anything going. I know there are some plays where he did perform well and whatnot, but it's not producing in anything. So I hate to, hand out participation awards, but this weekend against the Cardinals, I'll say it again. Rashawn Gary, 3 sacks. I'm gonna go out there in a bold prediction. And that is an absolute bold prediction with the way he's been playing this year. So bear with me here. Rashawn is going to start playing better. We just got to speak it into existence because we need him. And he's getting paid a lot of money. And we need him to earn that for sure. Omer, thank you for hopping in the chat over on YouTube. I appreciate you. Eli, did Romeo talk with reporters yet since being back at practice? Eli, he was not in the locker room yesterday following practice like most of the other players were. There's about a 45-minute window where media is allowed into the locker room after practice, and Romeo was not there. So interesting a little bit. Not sure. He doesn't ever really talk a whole lot anyways, but you'd think somebody would make themselves available at some point, maybe not today, or maybe not yesterday, maybe not today, but at some point, maybe just to kind of clear the air, just so they can squash this thing. Maybe it's already squashed. Maybe the air is already cleared. But like yourself, Eli, and myself, I think we're all kind of wondering what happened, and we're all hoping it doesn't happen again. Skipping practice, no excuses for that. So he put himself above the team, and that's not cool with me, but I'm on the outside looking in. So Christian Watson did speak with reporters yesterday, and he said quite a bit about Romeo. To paraphrase it, it was things like 2 days of missed practices shouldn't take away from the 3 years of work that he's put in. And another interesting one was from Christian. He said, there's some things that he does not want to hear from me or hear in the moment, but he's going to say them to him anyways because they're family. So some real leadership comments from Christian Watson, who's, I think, been through more than anybody else on this team outside of Pratt Jordan. Since he's been drafted, he's got to overcome a lot of injuries. A lot of conversation outside of football games was around him, and whether he's a bust or whether he's injury prone, all this stuff. And for him to come out here and be a leader like that, big respect to Christian Watson for kind of taking control of that wide receiver group. Him and Romeo are the veterans of that group, and Christian is the one that seems to be taking over that leadership role. So shout out to Christian Watson. Thank you, Eli, for the chat. Phil, forgive me if you already discussed. Phil, you are forgiven. Think there will be a noticeable cheers versus cheers with Romeo pregame on Sunday. Yeah, that'll be interesting, huh? I'll tell you where I stand. I'm kind of right in the middle here. I'm glad he's back on the team. I'm glad they solved things the way they did. But then again, it's like, well, I hope it doesn't happen again. I know it was an isolated incident according to Coach LaFleur, so I'll take him at his word in assuming that it won't happen again. But I don't know. He did the crime. He served the time on Sunday, getting suspended for the Rams game. I do understand if it doesn't sit right with folks about him skipping practice, putting himself above the team. But like I said, he did the crime, escaping practice on his own personal vendetta, and then did the time, missing Sunday's game against the Rams, which that was a homecoming game for him. He's from that area out in LA, went to Nevada for college. I think his old high school or something related to him was kind of having some sort of coming home party for him, which he obviously did not get to participate in. He did not travel with the team. So yeah, that'll be interesting to kind of monitor. I think it'll just be cheers. If it was me personally, I'm at Lambeau Field watching the game. I probably don't have any grudges toward him as far as what happened over a week ago. So I think there'll be plenty of cheers, and I'm sure he'll come right back out and have a few catches and get himself acclimated back into the offense without skipping a beat. Michael, I survived the hurricane. Go Pack, go. Michael, stay safe, my man. I've been seeing some nasty stuff on the TV, on the phone about what's going down there in Florida. So stay safe and go Pack, go. Matt, McKinney has been the best acquisition since Charles Woodson. He's been huge for this defense. Matt, I completely agree. I posted the other day asking the question, Xavier McKinney is the best free agent signing since blank, and kind of let everybody else fill in the blanks. And yeah, everybody said Charles Woodson. Everybody said Reggie White, of course, both legitimate answers and correct answers. Some Julius Peppers answers in there, which was great to see. I didn't know if Julius Peppers would slip anybody's mind, but yeah, those four, including McKinney, definitely the best free agent acquisitions we've had in the last few decades. And with the way Xavier is playing, he's got a chance to surpass them all. Not Reggie, but if he's getting a pick in every single game, and if we can bring home a Lombardi, I don't know. He's got a case to make. So, Matt, thank you for hopping in over on Facebook. Appreciate you. Nick, 1 second here. Excuse me. Rob, have you been to any Packers games this year? If you haven't, do you plan on going to any? Nick, I have not been to any Packers games yet this year. I was up there in June or the end of May for some OTAs minicamp action. I was up there for training camp for about a week, hanging out. And yeah, I don't have any specific plans so far this year. I plan to probably go to at least one, probably two. And then once the playoffs come around, if, gosh forbid, we have a home playoff game, absolutely go to that. Or on the other half of that, if that Week 18 game against the Bears ends up being like a win in your in game or a pretty big playoff implication game, I will probably make it up to that. So, yeah, was in Green Bay quite a bit this year for OTAs, minicamp, training camp, all the things. I was there earlier this year. Besides that, nope, that was the year before. I went to the Lions-Packers game when Rodgers and Cobby rode off into the sunset after the loss. That was tough. A win in your end game against the Lions at home on Sunday night. That game was tough. And pair that with the fact that it was what seemed to be Rodgers' last game. We went on that run. We had a 6% chance to make the playoffs. This was 2 years ago with Raj. And then for it to come down to one game when they just played like poop. So that game was pretty disheartening to be at for sure. Joe, a question that is a wild one. If Rodgers wins back-to-back MVPs and Super Bowls, will he be remembered as a Jet or a Packer more? Joe, I don't think he has any shot of winning MVP this year, so that would mean he would have to play 2 more years, which I don't put it past him. I think he's got it in him for sure. But back-to-back MVPs and 2 Super Bowls, the 2 Super Bowls thing might put him over the edge. I mean, I'll always remember him as a Packer regardless of what happens. But in the grand scheme of things, yeah, he might be remembered more as a Jet if he wins back-to-back Super Bowls for sure, especially that happening on the tail end of the career. That's kind of a more recent last memory of Rodgers compared to what happened, 14 years ago, which is crazy to think about. Super Bowl XLV was 14 years ago. That's just sad. We need another Super Bowl so bad. Thank you, Joe, for hopping in, my man. Hope you have a good Thursday. All right, it is time for the fact of the day, and we have got a good one lined up for you folks today.
It's time for your Green Bay Packers Fact of the Day. Brought to you by TickPick. TickPick guarantees to have the lowest prices on Packers tickets. If you find cheaper tickets elsewhere, TickPick will give you 110% of your money back. If you want $20 off your next ticket order, use code Packers20 at checkout. That's Packers20. This promo code can only be used in the app, so make sure to download the TickPick app today.
All right, fact of the day. Weeks 4 and 5 this season marks the only time in the last 45 seasons that the Packers have recorded a 95-plus yard drive in consecutive games. You love to see that. Hopefully we can start to put some longer drives together moving forward, because so far this season it's sort of become, or it's sort of been a boom or bust every time we're on offense. We either have a big play that leads to the score, which are the big plays we do lead the NFL in, or we go 3 and out. It's kind of one or the other. So we saw it last week during the Rams. I think 6 of the 10 drives we went 3 and out, or 4 and out with a penalty, and that is not good. So you look at the first half of that game, nothing happened at all outside that Jaden Reed bomb that Jordan Love uncorked into triple coverage, which after his talk with Tom Clements, he said he probably would never do that again. Outside of that bomb to Jaden Reed, nothing happened that first half. So goes to show the big play is kind of what they're relying on, which is dangerous. So hopefully we can put together some methodical drives. We've had very few of those, and mainly because of our own penalties, drop passes, etc. So hopefully we can get some of those things cleaned up and start to move the ball with some more consistency moving forward. Durant, I think Romeo Doubs is going to have a big game. I sure hope so. Whatever helps the team win, right? Travis, Rochelle is back. Yes, Robert Rochelle, our cornerback who was released after the game on Sunday, is back. He is signed back to the practice squad as expected. Suram over on Instagram, what do you think about the whole coach killer, bad teammate stigma with Rodgers? I think it's exactly what Rodgers himself has said. It's a bunch of crap. If you want to believe other people instead of Rodgers, then that's fine. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and call Aaron Rodgers a liar. No more comments on that one. But yeah, I don't think Rodgers has as much control over the coaching decisions or the GM as others may think. Sure, he's probably got some pull, but yeah, not so sure he's the exact person behind the firing of Robert Saleh. Durant, and of course, X is getting a pick. That is the perfect way to end the show. That's going to do it for me today, folks, as far as the show goes. But as you know, the content never stops. I'm always posting anything and everything Packers related all day long. So please be sure to follow me at GBP Daily. And if you are not already, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's in the links of all my social channels. I really appreciate that. Like the video, throw a comment down. It really helps the channel be seen across YouTube. I will be back and at it again tomorrow. So I look forward to seeing you then. And until then, I will catch you guys later. Thank you.